What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is Asia, your 100% real human Asia, not an AI clone. Remember, I do not do that on this channel, cloning myself for voice or likeness. I don't do that crap. Only for the awesome sauce cartoons that you will find on the Substack. So click the link in the description. And before we get into today's episode, you guys just click that link that's also down there because I have made my 2017 political drama novel, Becoming Brazen, available for free for you guys to download. So go ahead and click that link in the description. At the end of this episode, I just wanted to let you guys know and that it was there, and I wanted you guys to check it out and let me know what you think and be prepared. I was very much in my Jackie Collins phase when I wrote this book, so it can get a bit vulgar. But again, 100% not unpublished. It has not been professionally edited, has not gone through AI. So I just want to know what you guys think. So click that link in the description and head over there at the end of this episode, of course. Now, before we jump into the meat and potatoes of today's episode, I know a lot of you are waiting to hear more about the Candace Owens, Erica Kirk, back and forth, you know, and honestly, I do have an opinion on that, but not today. And the reason being is I do need a little bit more information uh, from both camps, actually, before I can offer my opinion, because so far it's looking like there just isn't enough information. And I know Candace said in her episode today that she's going to release some more tomorrow. So later this week, I will offer my opinion there. What you'll get from me most likely tomorrow is my opinion and my take, if you will, on Nick Fuentes' perspective on Candace Owens. But I don't want to talk all the time about Candace and Nick. I am not someone who trolls. And honestly, in order for somebody to be authentic, you got to talk about the things that you're interested in and the things that you yourself are tracking. And one of the things that I'm tracking is policy coming out of the federal government, specifically when it comes to, well, anything that will either hurt or benefit America specifically, or the lack of attention here on domestic policy. So that's what today's episode is going to be about. Because honestly, I don't know how many of you know this, but Congress is running around trying to destroy the internet. And I think the most you guys probably know about this is how Australia has already banned social media platforms for children. And I know a lot of you who are watching this channel probably agree with that decision. And by the end of this, I'm hoping that you disagree with it because Lord knows I do, especially because I dug a little bit more into what that bill is and not what they're doing in Australia. Because honestly, I could care less what the hell is happening in another hemisphere. But it's about what America is about to do and what our Congress is about to do. And they're using these words that trigger us America first. They're selling it to us under the guise of protecting kids. Well, I'm here to tell you that protecting children on the internet actually means adults losing their privacy and their freedom and even much more sovereignty than we already lost. So, you guys know I want to build out my own platform, and I'm here on this channel, right? Like I have my own YouTube channel, I have a Substack. I literally exist in the digital space so I can air my content that I create and spend time creating for you guys. One would say that I'm a solopreneur right now, but I exist in the digital space, right? The internet provides a plethora of opportunity. And I'm not saying that to sound like one of these YouTube gurus or how to grow your channel or how to build an online business. I'm not one of those. You're not going to get that on this channel. But I'm saying this because everything that the government is about to do or that they're trying to get passed, that the House of Representatives have pretty much already passed and are handing off to the Senate pretty soon. I'm pretty sure they're going to do it either right after Christmas or they're sending it, if not this week, then the beginning of next week before the holiday. But the reason why it's important to talk about it is because it will single-handedly destroy everything that I'm trying to build before it's even built. And that's the problem. I mean, I don't know how many of you are thinking about creating podcasts or how many of you leverage the internet or social media to bring in extra cash, because you probably work a 9 to 5 job or full-time job like I do, and you use social media and you use the internet If you created an online business of some sort, because, it's a wonderful opportunity. But now imagine not being able to access that without an ID, because that's the bill that they're trying to pass. Oh, it's to protect children. It's a bunch of hogwash, is what that is. It's not about children. It's a massive privacy violation, more so than it already is. I mean, we know that social media and a lot of these like platforms like YouTube or Google, Meta, they are major data center hubs, right? They just want to pull so much data just so they can sell it. Like, now we know why the left are pushing this bill. They want to be able to censor speech when it comes to, don't question the science if you're Fauci. They want to make sure that we can't talk bad about anything leftist or woke when you're talking about how non-existent and how cuckoo cuckoo trannies are. They want to be able to censor that speech. Like, that's all this is about. And I'll get more into that. But the fact of the matter is that this is just another power grab, and it's really pissing me off because this is supposed to be, even if you're not America First and you're just MAGA, these policies should be pissing you off. Now, usually I build up, right? Like, I don't just come out angry. There's like a build up to this thing. There's a rhythm here, right? We got a rhythm here going. But I'm so fed up because literally there was an episode I was going to do today that literally got pushed because one can react to how I could have easily just reacted to how Nick Fuentes is talking about Candace. I like the guy and this and a third, and I could have done all of that for you today. And I could have been just another commentator that is reacting to another hot button topic or a continuation of the saga, if you will. And I intend to do that, but not today. Because these policies, they're freaking me out, man. And they should freak you out because the reality is that both sides are trying to push this. The left are trying to do it for their own wokeism and their own nonsense, but the right is trying to sell it to us like it's under the guise of safety and security, and that's BS. Because America First loses. Again, digital sovereignty gone. Completely gone. Your digital right of freedom of speech, kaput, vanished. And the only ones who win are big tech and government. And they're trying to tell us that this is about protecting children. Don't get me wrong, right? Like, in some aspect, like, I understand it because I agreed with Marsha Blackburn, like, the Protect Children's Act. But there is no realistic way of accomplishing that in the digital space. The only way to protect your kids from the internet is to do that in IRL. And I'll get into what I think that you should do, but honestly, be a good dang parent, and then your kid won't be so susceptible to what the hell is happening online. And that's how I was raised. You know why I'm not caught up in a whole bunch of nonsense? Because I was raised right. 2-parent household, Christ-fearing family, raised Christian. Got my problems with the Baptist church and all, but raised right. Stop saying this is about protecting children, because it isn't. Good parenting works. So why do you need to issue ID verification? Because let's call a spade. The only way to prove that you're not a child is for every adult to prove that they are actually an adult. But how do you do that? With an ID. That's the only way to show that you yourself are not a child. Because that's the only way I can tell that's the only way people know when I go to buy a beer or something, apparently I look like I'm 18, 19 or 20 years old. Apparently, I mean, when I'm not wearing makeup, that's what I look like. Thank God, black don't crack unless you use it. Believe me, because I've seen some things in my line of work. But they card me when I try to buy beer or buy alcohol, buy a cocktail, buy cigarettes. They look for my ID when I'm trying to engage with adult products like, again, alcohol, cigarettes, any tobacco product, vapes or what have you. They card me. But that's so I can prove that I'm not a child. How else do you expect to do that on the internet? So this whole protecting children thing, the only way, to do that, you have to show that you yourself are an adult by taking a picture of your ID. Get out of here. This is not about children. Now, you guys are probably like, what the heck is she going on and on about ID verification and all this, that, and the third? We already have to do this, that, and the third. Well, let me go into some of the bills that they have already passed in the House or that they're working on to get out of the House into the Senate. There's a couple of them, and they're all under the Child Online Safety Act. And in these, there are like a couple of bills. One of them is called KOSA, and another one's called the SCREEN Act. KOSA is an acronym. Can't remember what the heck KOSA stands for. Just know both of these suck. Both of them do. Because what you see, what they advanced, 18 bills. Again, one of them KOSA. Platform is supposed to, the point of the KOSA Act is for social media platforms and pretty much any platform that has any kind of a forum, people can communicate, engage, post content. The platforms have to mitigate harmful content that is addictive, that produces anything that promotes self-harm or any kind of duty of care. I don't know what the heck duty of care means in the law, but the reality is that who dictates what's harmful? The government. That's what that means. The government is what's going to dictate what is considered harmful content, what is considered addictive content. And the platforms have to mitigate and moderate content, conversations based on what government dictates. And yeah, okay, so Trump's in power today. But what happens when the Democrats get in office and this bill has been passed? What happens then? Does anybody think about that? Did anybody on the right think of this? Did any of the Republicans who say that they are so-called MAGA consider that? No, they didn't. All they see is an opportunity for mass overreach, huge power grab, and the best way to track how we communicate and how we engage online. That's a problem because anybody at any point can take over, can win office, can be the president, can be in Congress. Either one of these parties can take power. Just a year and a half ago, it was the Biden regime. No Republicans are fighting against this, and this is a problem. A whole lot of them are pushing this. The SCREEN Act requires social media and other websites to adopt technology verification to block minors, requiring age ID checks for access. But this is insidious because, again, the only way to prove that you're not a child is to upload your ID. So you're telling me for me to get on Facebook? And let me be clear, businesses and platforms owned by Meta and by Google, that's YouTube, and Facebook, Instagram, they're already gearing up and building up that technology for the ID and age verification. They've already started doing this. They want your ID. Now let's put our, conspiracy brains off. Let's shut that off just for a moment. What about data breaches? Because you're not going to convince me that you've never been hacked before. Google, Facebook, or Meta. You can't tell me that you've never been breached. And so I'm going to upload my ID to your platform just to access it? Come on. That doesn't make any kind of sense. It makes no kind of sense whatsoever. It's already bad enough that I have to put in my address and my phone number and, all this other stuff to verify that it is me. But even that's not as invasive as my identification. So now if someone hacks your stuff, they now have my actual face. Granted, with all this AI technology, one just has to clone myself and my voice for my YouTube channel. I mean, we are so technologically advanced. Hacking and stealing identities is not that hard, especially if you created a business like mine and you're out there like this. Your voice is out there. But you know what? It's the principle of a thing. I don't want to upload my ID just to access YouTube or Facebook or Instagram. I mean, I'm barely on it, but still a principle of the thing. They want them to adopt this technology. This is a bill that they just passed. Excuse me. They did this in February of 2025. Now, obviously, this is way before the America First channel was created. or the brand itself was created. I mean, I had YouTube channels before, but I wasn't tracking policy, not as much as I am now. They're still trying to get this over. And again, KOSA is, again, the Kids Online Safety Act. That's what that acronym means. K as in kite, O as in Sam, A as in apple. KOSA, Kids Online Safety Act. It itself doesn't require ID verification, but it is literally mimicking and I should say relying on the SCREEN Act for that ID verification. And here's the thing. As a creator, someone who has this video podcast, an audio podcast available on YouTube Music. So make sure if you guys are having a hard time watching the long form or you get busy and you just want to listen to it, it is available for you on YouTube Music. Just look for America First AI Podcast. But again, I create this show for you and I create cartoons. Honestly, let YouTube do this. And this is, let's say that they just choose to do it, right? Because here's the problem. This is why YouTube and Facebook aren't doing it right now, because it's not law yet. Because they know the second they put an ID wall behind or in front of their platform before we can engage, a crap ton of us are going to leave and just primarily do our own platforms and use like Substack and Rumble for our go-tos. And that's how we'll do this if Meta and YouTube do this. But now here's the thing. This is why they're waiting for the law to be passed, because they know they're going to lose a lot of business doing that. How many viewers are going to hop off of YouTube and Meta? How many people are going to start deleting accounts, not just deleting the apps from their phones, but just the account themselves? Screw you then. I'm not giving you my ID. It was one thing when they were talking about pornographic sites. All right, well, you want to engage in digital, perversion, then go ahead, risk yourself. Go ahead, put your ID up there. Okay. If that's what they said this was, I probably wouldn't even push back against it if that were the law. Not to say that wouldn't, send us down, a slippery path, but it's literally the one area where I don't think a lot of pushback would have happened, because even I wouldn't push back on it. You want to engage in perversion and OnlyFans and all that crap. You want to engage in perversion, then you put yourself out there with an ID. You upload your ID. You lose your privacy and allow the government to hack you and all this, that, and the third. You do that. And I'll be okay with that. And honestly, I would have been. I would not even be doing this episode. I've been talking about something totally different. But no, they wanted across the entire internet. And now the big problem is that you have a lot of people in Congress who say, oh, but it's just like using an ID in the real world. That's hogwash. It's a bunch of baloney. Gosh, they almost got me cursing. It's a bunch of bull. And the reason being is, if I or you, like, let's say we're at the train, it's cold. We finally, it's freezing cold, and the train comes and we get on the train and it was like, man, I look at you and I say, man, it is freezing out there. It's like being caught in a war between Elsa and Frozone. Like, geez, you start laughing and you tell me, well, that's why you got to get yourself some thicker gloves. I don't need an ID to say that to you, to talk to you, to converse with you. I don't need an ID. You know what this bill does? In order for me to engage with you in the comment section, I have to present an ID. And that's only if I presented the ID to even get into the platform at all. What? We do not need IDs to talk to each other. Conversely, we don't have to do that in person. I don't need an ID to buy a soda, to go into a 7-Eleven, to go into a restaurant, unless I'm trying to, again, buy a beer, buy a Scotch neat, or buy cigarettes and a vape or a cigar when I go to the cigar lounge. That's the only time I need to present an ID. When I want to see a rated R movie, they ask me for my ID because of the adult content. Okay, I'll give you the movie theaters. But again, it's a specific movie that I'm trying to gain access to. They didn't ask me for my ID to come into the AMC theater or the Regal theater. They didn't ask me for my ID for that. The only time where IRL was mimicking what these policies are suggesting we do across the internet was during the COVID shutdowns when they were demanding you show proof of vaccination just to enter an establishment. That is not freedom. That is tyranny. What do you call this in the digital space? Republicans? This is not America first. That is a total violation of privacy in the digital space, more so than it already is. No one is moderating their terms of agreement. You're already not limiting how much that they're able to control or take or anything like that. No, your focus is on your power. And this helps you. This is a problem, people. They cannot pass these bills. This cannot be signed into law. We have to put the pressure on the president so he doesn't sign this crap. These bills are going to tell platforms that they have to moderate per the administration and what they define as harmful. What? What? So I'm not going to be allowed to say that people who say that they're trans are cuckoo cachoop. That's harmful under Biden and Kamala. I'm not allowed to say that Kesh Patel and Pam Bondi suck. I think she's the legally blonde lawyer, and it shouldn't be her as the AG. Oh, nope, that's harmful. Problem both sides of the government. Both sides, both administrations have problems. Both sides I take would take issue with me. Both sides of them would. And they would literally stop me from doing what I have to do via YouTube, via whatever platform I'm trying to build. And then I want to build my own Netflix. Imagine that. I'm someone who believes that I don't want to violate someone's anonymity just so they can watch a bunch of freaking cartoons. Don't get me wrong. I am passionate about them and the stories that I want to bring to you. And Lord willing, this channel and this network that I want to build for you next year does fantastic. And I'm going all in on the America First AI network. But if I'm the person who says, I don't want to put an ID verification wall in front of my content, in front of my business, in the digital space, what are you going to do to me then? I don't have the money for the lawyers or for the tech stack to put that in there that you're demanding that I do. And I don't even believe in that crap. So what happens to creators and to small businesses like me? The competition that I'm raving about and this new human renaissance that people are saying is going to happen because of AI, like the democratization of film and television and the democratization of the finance industry, whether it be Main Street creating their own community-led hedge funds and trading operations, because AI can do most of it as long as you have the license so you can provide adequate human sourced advice from human to human. Awesome. Main Street's gonna boom. How the heck are they gonna do any of that if everyone needs a damn ID? How? Oh, we have to protect the children. We have to protect the children. What do you mean? I make cartoons, damn it. I make freaking cartoons. They're not nude. My Mildred character cussed 2 times in 5 episodes. You cut all of them together, it equaled like a little less than 10 minutes. So we're talking maybe less than 20 seconds where she said 2 cuss words. But I need an ID verification. What the heck are we talking about? What are you talking about, Congress? Are you serious? No one pays attention until it's too late. This would change the internet forever. How many digital businesses have popped up since the 90s? How many of us? I can't even believe it. And you know what the problem is that when this becomes mandatory and every platform requires it, how many of us are going to just follow along? Because that's really the problem. A lot of us will just follow along because, oh, well, we have to have the opportunity. I got to build my business. You know what's funny is that everyone kept saying, I think AI is the mark of the beast. Well, you can't even access it without an ID, without uploading it online. Can't even access the AI. So I'm having a hard time believing that the AI is the mark of the beast at this point. Really having a hard time. Starting to think that the digital ID, what's to say that we won't have to do digital IDs to fly and do this? Yo. What? This makes no sense. This will destroy how we do anything. Now, they were talking about repealing Section 230, repealing it or making changes to it. Now, you guys, I already went over this, or Section 230, a little bit of it, actually. I went over some of it when I was talking about what happened with the Reddit guy. What happened with Reddit, with Wall Street Bets brand, how Reddit took ownership and they used and leveraged Section 230 as one of their arguments to claim ownership of this guy's brand. Now, that's not what I'm going to talk about here for today. But now here's the problem if they were to repeal the entire Section 230. If platforms lose their protection and their liability, they're going to start to have to behave like publishers. And so the ability to start from scratch and to build the way that I am, someone who does not have Candace Owens, Brandon Tatum, Megyn Kelly, Tucker Carlson money, to build from scratch and to earn little by little. My first $8 and my first $10 that I was getting online from the content that I've been putting out so far, can't even get that. They won't even allow it. Why? Because if the government says that my rhetoric is harmful, and YouTube has to move like a publisher now because they've lost their protection from liability of something that I could say, then they will be sued for the defamation or held liable for whatever. Now, I don't walk into things and I always say allegedly, my opinion. This is just an accusation that there's no proof here. This is just what I think, blah, 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 trying to protect myself in some regard because, sometimes what you say can defame someone unless you make it clear that it's what you think, it's an accusation, it's an allegation, someone's just been accused of something, right? Okay, fine. But now, though I believe that there needs to be some changes to Section 230, you cannot repeal the whole thing because how is YouTube and Meta and all these other platforms going to react? Are you going to have the ability to build the way that you are unless you have capital the way you see with Candace, Tucker, Brandon Tatum, Megyn Kelly, Tim Pool, ABL, and all the rest of the MAGA folk? There's just no way to compete if you lose that opportunity. And these are what these bills do, and nobody's talking about it except the handful. And the handful that are talking about it are people on the left. That is what's the craziest thing about this, is that the only reason why this episode came about is because I watched a few Young Turk videos for some other liberal to pop up in my feed, and this is what they were talking about. The SCREEN Act and the KOSA Act. It was like, what the heck is this? Bad internet bills. Republicans or the Republicans attempt to destroy the internet. What? So now I got to click it because I'm having my issues with the Republicans. And now because I am a little bit more open-minded, because I'm America first, and I'm not in this monolith cult-like thinking with MAGA, and never was, I'm a little bit more open-minded to what the hell the problems are with the Republican government, especially because they're already failing when it comes to the I country in the Middle East. So what else are they doing? Well, they're following Australia's lead with these bills, and I'm not for it. What I need our governments to start doing, and if they won't do it at the federal level, because it doesn't look like Trump is going to lead that army, if you will. He's so busy trying to build infrastructure for AI and going after states who want to protect their citizens. No, you want to send a task force and force states to stand down because you want to prioritize these global corporations. Corporatism and feudalism is what we're living in. It's what he's protecting. States are going to have to do what Florida is doing. And I didn't even really care for DeSantis when he was running for president against Trump, right? Because Trump was my guy. Didn't want DeSantis. I figured, you should have waited. No one should have ran against them. It did expose some of the neocons. But in this regard, DeSantis is like my guy when it comes to protecting his people. You know what he did? Issued the digital version of the Bill of Rights. That's exactly how you protect your people. That's what states are going to have to start doing. He issued this not too long ago. Privacy and data ownership, no federal backdoors into your platforms, or at least you can't give them access to any Floridians' accounts. Anything that they posted, they better present a freaking warrant if they want to access the information from any Floridian. States are going to have to do that today. today. That needs to be done. I can't even believe Texas is behind this. Like, why aren't you doing this yet? I need Abbott on that yesterday. Businesses should not be forced to require ID verification, especially if you're not an OF person, or if you're not, contributing to the pornographic industry. I mean, I make freaking cartoons. There's no nudity, there's no graphic sex scenes or anything like this. There's none of that. There's no sexual perversions, there's nothing harmful. It's freaking cartoons. What? You didn't do this to television. So why are you doing it to the internet? I need them to start doing what DeSantis is doing. I need every Republican governor doing this now. Start issuing a state bill of rights for the digital space yesterday. Because I need to know that as someone who is a creator and is building a business online, that until I can earn what I need to exist IRL, that I won't have to worry about this terrible regulation and policies. This is going to kill so many businesses and entrepreneurs, while also simultaneously violating civil liberties in the digital space. Honestly, whatever laws on the books that are just, righteous, should be replicated in the digital space. I don't understand why we haven't figured this out yet, and I'm 30 and the internet came out a year before me. 31 years of this infrastructure, and you're just figuring out you need a digital Bill of Rights. Okay, DeSantis, you weren't the governor the entire time, and this is what you want to do because you see the threats of AI. But the digital rights apply for everything, not just these AI companies, across the board. A lot of what these businesses are doing anyway are going to have to change in Florida. And I don't care what liberals are saying about DeSantis, but you know damn well a lot of you liberals who have podcasts and all this, that, and the third online, you're going to value everything that he is doing, because this is probably going to protect you as a business owner and as a podcaster. Because when the Republicans have control and they want to dictate what they deem harmful, like criticizing Israel, won't be able to do that. Every podcaster with a big platform, the Young Turks aren't talking about it. I mean, why is no one talking about these bills? Why did it take this? It's the end of the year. No one's talking about this. This is a problem. Why are we not seeing more people talking about why the feds are doing what they're doing, and with what Congress is doing and what they're about to let the feds be able to do with these new policies? Why is no one talking about this? America First needs to get on it now, yesterday. Now, we can talk about the dramas of the world. We totally can, and I intend to talk about what the heck is going on with Candace and everything and all the announcements and all that jazz again later on in the week. I totally do. Obviously, I need a little bit more information about what the heck happened in that meeting. She did say she's got a little bit more that she wants to share with us tomorrow. So again, that episode, if it doesn't come tomorrow, because you guys know her show airs, I'm in Dallas, so 4:30 my time. And I try to record my episode really around 6:30, and it gets posted right after that. And I like to plan and prepare starting from the morning. And so if there's not enough information for me to talk about it, then I probably won't until Thursday, where I have a little bit more of an opinion to offer in that regard. But I am pissed about how they're about to ruin the internet. It provides so many opportunities, and it should not just be podcasters, political commentators. Where's Think Media on this? Where's Cody Sanchez on this? Where is every AI automation agency business who has a podcast at? Where are any one of these people? Where are the writers who have their horror story stuff and their horror story podcasts and literally everyone who has a business online should be saying something. They are about to force you as an individual, as a citizen first, to upload your ID just to engage online. And then as a business, If you have your own platform because you don't want to deal with this, well, it's law now. So as a business with your own platform, like the Brett Coopers and the Steven Crowders and the Tim Pools with their own streaming platforms for their own content, you're going to have to start requesting IDs. You're going to have to start doing that. People who are leveraging that new platform, School, S as in Sam, K as in Kite, OOL, where you can do like online courses and all this, that, and the third. They have literally over 1 million new creators on that platform earning money. How many people are you going to lose because of this? Because you now have to demand that not only the individual creators request the IDs from the people who sign up, but you yourself are going to have to start asking for IDs for the people who sign up just to create an account, to start earning as a creator. This is such a mess and a web of insidiousness, and no one is talking about it except for a few people on the left. What? I am furious about that. Furious. You can hear it. Again, you guys know there's a rhythm. We got something good here. We do. I have a rhythm. I build to my rage. I build up to it. Not today. You guys know me. I try not to troll. I even say it. I try my hardest not to troll. I don't want to do that. Trolling hot button topics because it's what's going to go viral. I don't care about virality. I do this because it's cathartic. And I want to build my own business. And obviously, I know podcasting is a way to do that audio and video wise. But again, the only way to be truly authentic is to talk about the things and the topics that matter to you, the creator, the most. This matters. Because again, what is the point? If I don't even believe in asking for an ID just to sign on to YouTube, how dare I, who doesn't even believe in that crap, ask somebody else for their ID? If I didn't buy that crap during COVID shutdowns, how dare you ask me for my COVID vaccination status and then turn around and ask me to ask somebody theirs? Are you kidding? Just to enter this building? F out of here, then I won't come in your building. Demand that I have a vaccination in order to work or to go out to eat, to be entertained or what have you. Then screw you. I'll learn how to cook it at home. Now you want an ID for me to access that damn recipe because I refuse to be vaccinated to go to this restaurant? I mean, what the heck? There's too much happening here. All these people who are so like apocalyptic when it comes to AI and the Christians, and I'm not even talking about Christian Zionism, I'm just talking about Christians in general. AI is the mark of the beast, they said. They say. I'm finding that really hard to believe. That digital ID that they're all requesting in Europe, if they can do it in Europe, the culture that created or built this country. I mean, it's Western for crying out loud. The UK is already demanding the digital ID. Australia just banned social media for minors. They're lying to us. It's not about protecting kids. You want to protect your children? Homeschool them. You want to protect your kids from seeing stuff online? Don't let them be tablet babies. Raise your children. Be a good parent. Raise them Christian. So spiritually, which lives in the mind, the spirit, whatever they become exposed to online, they are spiritually strong enough to deal. That's how you protect your kids. Don't buy smart televisions to put in every room, to put in their rooms, only in the family room. Well, Asia, they need cell phones. No, they don't. Why you need a cell phone? Your friends are up the street because we all homeschool our kids. This is why it's so important to build community. America First needs to start doing that again. Homeschool your kids, raise them Christian, don't expose them early, teach them about Christianity, teach them about their bodies, don't get awkward and uncomfortable, don't give them access to the internet until a specific age, and even then, you keep it in the living room, your family room. Not everybody needs a smart television. That's how you protect children. Good parenting. Not demanding every adult who wants to engage in the online on social media upload a copy of their ID or demand that we get a digital one. Because honestly, this is more insidious. It's totally different than demanding digital IDs be created. It's totally different. But this is exactly how you get it. Well, if I uploaded my real ID, how is this not valid? How is it not? This would count as a digital one. No. You can share it. Facebook can share it with Google. And then Google can share it with my health insurance company. And then my health insurance company can share it with the bank that I use. And then the bank can send it to this place and that place and that place. And if ever I get so big that someone, some Zionist or some leftist or some government official who don't like me, if I ever decide to run for office, because people are telling me I should run, I don't know. But anyways, that they just have to access this thing because someone in the government said access it through the back door, because that's what they're demanding they do if they don't already have that. Because Tulsi Gabbard already made it clear that they have access to it already, violating the search and seizure laws. This is a problem. The government does not care about violating constitutional rights at all. And they're treating the digital space like it's not America. And you're right. I get it. The World Wide Web. I totally understand that. I get it. It's the world. But Americans need to be treated differently. Why? We're different. Period. Full stop. America is different. It's better. The greatest country on the face of the earth in the history of humanity. We deserve to be treated better. And these laws, hogwash, don't pass them. Put pressure on the White House. We don't want this. The amount of attention that we are putting on the White House and the presidency and the administration and Congress right now for everything else, this is one of them. And every podcaster, every business owner, specifically in the digital space, need to say something. I am furious. And you should be too. Don't let them lie to you and believe this crap that it's about protecting your kids, because it's not. Now, those of you who are returning viewers and your parents, we're America first. I know you're good parents. You're America first. That means you are a good parent. In my personal belief, I believe you're Christian. Christian parents are strict. They don't spare the rod, but they love their children. Not to say that you're perfect. But honestly, perfection takes the fun out of even enjoying your children because you're trying so hard to be perfect. But putting that aside, you're good parents and you're going to raise your kids to be aware, and you're going to teach them how to defend themselves online and how to be to take offense positions when necessary online. They will be safe because spiritually you would have raised them to be strong in their convictions. You don't need this bill. So don't listen to that crap that they're peddling. But I am furious, and you guys can tell. But that is my time. I'm so done with this. I can't even. 18 bills Congress has worked on. 18 since February of this year. Probably longer, right? We can't stay on them just about what's happening in IRL. We have to pay attention to the policies that's happening in the digital space, full stop, as well. But that is my time, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you're clicking that link, heading over to the Substack, checking out some of the the Disavow Gala cartoons. Also, head into the description, click the link so you can access my unedited, unpublished novel that I wrote in 2017, Becoming Brazen. Again, my Jackie Collins days, and it's very vulgar, but it is conservative. Beginning of my journey when I was red-pilled. I think you guys are going to like it, find it very entertaining, but forgive the vulgarity, forgive the errors and the mistakes. Again, this was not professionally edited. It's literally what I just wrote on a computer, saved, and spent $200 something for a cover. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Engage in the comments. Thank you guys to the returning viewers for engaging and subscribing. The new viewers who come to this channel, thank you so much. I love you guys' comments. I get in them as often as I can. You guys know I work a full-time job, but I try to engage with you guys as much as I possibly can in those comment sections. So keep them coming, because sometimes, again, like I said, I like to re-engage with you guys on camera and off. But that is my time. God bless you all, and until next time.